in your own words. People say that to you. You know, when you hear that a lot in a classroom or in a courtroom, they'll say to you, tell us in your own words. Do you have your own words?
Oh shit, 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 oh shit.
Terrence Budrick Crawford proves that he was groomed to stay away from Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Let's talk.
Gotcha, bitch!
Straighter! Yep. Not a roundhouse right hand.
And that's what we've been talking about, the straight shot. This is the one where he gets leverage on it.
I don't want to kill somebody
back
for
a little bit.
seconds.
Nah, I want a body on my record.
Now, I want to see you fight motherfuckers. I do. All right? I'm with you. I'm with you. As long as you're trying to fight the great, the best competition.
Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link if you dare to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you. Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link if you dare to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you. Yo, it's the best, fight the best. If you ain't with the moto, just click the link, bitch, and get buried like the rest. It ain't gonna work how you want it. These trolls already tried, too many come but don't leave. So if you hear, you gotta die. I'm spitting straight facts. These bitches crying cause they hate that. The LDBC's the top topic, bitch, take that. We the ones that bring the truth to these fans. So while you hate, I'ma laugh and keep counting these bands. Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link, get prepared to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you. Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link if you dare to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you.
Welcome to the graveyard.
You've been around boxing long enough
so you
to
can
know,
tell which one.
You know what I mean? What fighters bring to the table and what fighters that you thought was going to be something that they not, because it's how you move them. You know, you got all this money invested in him. You're not about to get him beat. You're not about to put him in there with some crazy opponent.
Yeah.
So you constantly grooming him step by step. And if you don't see what you know what I mean, you want to see in him, then you're going to throw him to the wolves and you're going to have your other fighter knock him off. And you still make money. You're going to make as much money as you can with him, you know, while you got him, to recoup the money that you invested in him. And then you're going to get him knocked off. And then after that, after you can't use him, you're going to
find the next guy.
You're going to cut him just like that. You're going to say, oh, termination. We don't want you no more.
Terrence Crawford, if he were to win, did you always feel he was a fighter who could be competitive with a Manny Pacquiao, that he's ready for that kind of stage?
Well, I don't know. A lot of my matchmakers think that Manny is too much for him. One thing about Terrence is that he is vulnerable to a good southpaw puncher. You know, he leaves himself open a little bit. So the question is, Manny, who's a terrific puncher, if he nails Crawford, what happens?
Crawford had been mentioned before around Manny Pacquiao, but I really think that Manny has no interest in that fight. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Did he mention as to why there was no interest in fighting Terrence?
He thinks that Terrence, with his skill set at this stage of Manny Pacquiao's career, would be too much for him.
So he's honest about that. He realizes that.
Yeah, sure, he's honest about it.
Rumor had it that you didn't want to face Terrence Crawford. Is that the case, or was that just all rumor?
You know, I tell you this, since before I'm wanting to fight Terrence Crawford, but I don't know why they don't give it to me.
Bob Arum said that you didn't want the fight.
No, I want to fight. Even before Jeff Horn, why Jeff Horn and why not Terrence Crawford?
Would you have reservations if he said, next fight I want Terrence Crawford?
Well, I killed the fight. Yeah.
So you wouldn't want that for Manny?
No, because I would know how it would end.
I had that fight done with Manny, with Terrence, and the fight was going to be in the Mideast, and we had closed the deal with the people. They were very good people, big government people. And then the Minister of Health said, I'm not going to approve spectators at the fight. Fight was going to be this Saturday.
But inside, because I had him hold up to make sure that the money was going to be on its way. So as a manager, I got to do my homework and find out if the money's going to be there. Don't just be signing no contract just to be signing a fucking contract. Now, Pacquiao did sign. Pacquiao did sign a fucking contract. He signed for a certain amount.
You know, you've been around boxing long enough,
so you can
know,
tell which one.
You know what I mean? What fighters bring to the table, and what fighters that you thought was gonna be something that they not, because it's how you move them. You know, you got all this money invested in him. You're not about to get him beat. You're not about to put him in there with some crazy opponent.
Yeah.
So you constantly grooming him step by step. And if you don't see what you know what I mean, you want to see in them, then you're gonna throw him to the wolves, and you're gonna have your other fighter knock him off, and you still make money. You're gonna make as much money as you can with him, you know, while you got him, to recoup the money that you invested in him. And then you're gonna get him knocked off. And then after that, after you can't use him, you're gonna
find the next guy.
You're gonna cut him just like that. You're gonna say, "Oh, termination. We don't want you no more."
See, that's you right there. I see this your shit. Smell that. That's you.
Now, this may come as a surprise to some of you guys. It is not a surprise to me. I told you, one fighter was developed, one fighter was built. I told you this. Terrence Crawford was built. He was groomed. He was guided. He was built. All right? Built. He was successful against Errol Spence. Yes, he was. So fucking what? It doesn't change the fact that the man was built. Yeah, you could have fought Manny Pacquiao a long time ago. A long time ago. You were on the same promotional, the same side of the street. The same thing. Manny Pacquiao didn't want to fight. Manny Pacquiao didn't want to fight. Show me where Manny Pacquiao is telling you guys he did not want to fight Terrence Crawford. You cannot show me. I've looked. Well, BFTB, Freddie Roach, I don't give a fuck. Listen, Crawford, I don't give a fuck I don't care what Freddie Roach said. What did Manny Pacquiao say? What did he say? Manny Pacquiao said, I've been wanting to fight him. What did Bob Arum say? Bob Arum said, well, I don't know Terrence Crawford as a sucker for left hands, and Manny Pacquiao, if he catches him, we don't know. And then he went on to protect his up-and-coming fighter, Terrence Crawford. He went on to protect him from Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Now, am I saying that Manny Pacquiao would have beat him? I'm not saying that at all, because you never know what would have happened until you get into the ring. But what I am saying is what they said. Not me. I'm saying what they said. Terrence Crawford laid it out like he was out here spitting bars. Well, they not going to put their fighter in there with, just some guy getting knocked off. They're going to get everything out of him. That's exactly what they did to you and Pacquiao. It's exactly what they did. They could have put you in there with Manny Pacquiao a long time ago. Bob Arum, chose not to. He chose not to until he saw the weakness in Manny Pacquiao. He saw the kinks in his armor after the motherfucking Keith Thurman fights and after the Adrian Broner fights you seeing people getting landed on him. He says, I killed the fight because I know what happened. And then you turn right around and make it. So you killed it because you know what would happen. You killed it because Manny Pacquiao would lose. And then you made it. But y'all be the first motherfuckers talking about, well, BFTB. If these guys would have fought in their prime, if they would have fought in their prime, it would have been a different story. If Roy Jones fought Joe Calzaghe in his prime, it would have been a different story. Mike Tyson didn't go to jail and fought, Holyfield in his prime. If Mike fought Lennox Lewis in his prime, it would have been a different. Yeah, that's what we say. We talk about primes all the time. And don't get it twisted. It might have been a different story. It might have. But I didn't tell you the blueprint on what Top Rank does. Terrence Crawford did. It's not like Terrence Crawford has been in some other promotional company. He has always been with Top Rank for 10 years. He has been with Top Rank. So when he's talking about what people do with their fighters, they know if you're ready. They know. They've been around fighting long enough. How long has Bob been around boxing? 90 years? Who the fuck do you think he's talking about? Al Heyman? Is that what you think he's talking about? Freddie Roach? Motherfucking Rat Eyes? Who the fuck do you think he's talking about? He has been with Top Rank for 10 years, for a fucking decade. Who the fuck do you think he's talking about? There is a reason why they didn't move that man from 140 to 147 right away, and they could have. There's a reason why they moved that man from 135 to 140 just so quickly. No unifications, no nothing. Yeah, there's a reason why they kept that man back at 140 and didn't push him at 147 the same way they pushed him from 135 to 140. There's a reason they held him back. There's a reason for that. Because they clearly believed he wasn't ready. Now, I'm not mad at the people that believed he wasn't ready and held him to a certain degree, until now they believe he's ready, and now they just let him do his thing, and he's dominating, he's the number one pound fighter in the world. So be it. I'm not mad at them. I am mad at the fans that claim it was anything different. I'm mad at y'all motherfuckers that say it's anything different. Nah, man, he was this, and he was no, he fucking wasn't, because if he was, they would have pushed him that way. This is Manny fucking Pacquiao we're talking about. If he was ready, Bob would have made the fight. You can't tell me you couldn't make it with Manny Pacquiao back then. But then you can make it later on. You can't find anywhere of Manny Pacquiao saying he's not fighting Terrence Crawford. You can't find nowhere, but you can find people who are around him saying it. Can find that. You can find that. Yeah, you can find people around him saying, like Freddie Roach saying that Terrence Crawford, we don't want that fight. Yeah, you can find Freddie Roach saying that. You cannot find Manny Pacquiao saying that. Yeah, you can't find the fighter himself saying, I don't. You find Manny Pacquiao saying, bro, if I'm gonna fight why fight Jeff Horn or Terrence Crawford? Why would I do that? I've been wanting to fight him. Then you'll find Bob saying one thing that he killed it. You'll find Bob saying one thing that Manny Pacquiao turned it down. Manny Pacquiao told everybody he turned it down. Manny Pacquiao, that's what he said. And then right after that, Manny Pacquiao be like, what the fuck this dude's talking about? And then right after that, Bob Arum will tell you he killed the fight. So Manny Pacquiao didn't say nothing. No, Bob killed it. After Bob lied and told you that Manny Pacquiao told him he didn't want it. And that's what Bob told the world. The fucking flooding the world with lies. And then after that, after saying you killed the fight, then you made the fight later on. So when you killed the fight because you knew how it would end, because Manny's old and he's old, then you made the fight when he was older. After other fights. And Terrence Crawford told y'all why. He told y'all why. You're not putting your guy in there to get him knocked off. No, you'll wait. You'll wait. You'll wait. You'll drag it out. You'll milk it. And then when the cherry is ripe to be picked, then you make the fight, which is what Bob Arum did with Manny Pacquiao and Terrence Crawford. That's what he did. He made the fight when he believed it was ripe for Terrence Crawford to dominate Manny Pacquiao. But before, when it wasn't ripe, when Manny Pacquiao would have fucking potentially knocked Terrence Crawford the fuck out. Yeah, we ain't making that fight yet. Because we don't know. He's a sucker for left hands. But I know y'all are, oh, you're just mad because he beat Errol Spence. I don't give a fuck if he beat Errol Spence. I don't care. I care about the best fighting the best. That's what I care about. Now, I wanted Errol to win, yeah. It's boxing. You win some, you lose some. But your fans allow you to fight another day because your fans rock with you. This guy, yeah, it is man down over here, period. I don't give a fuck what he does. Man down. Even when he retires and he starts promoting motherfuckers. Man down. Man down promotions. That is this guy over here. So I know you guys can be mad because you expect to see tears and defeat. You don't. You see happiness because I got a fight. Thank you, Errol Spence. Got the fight I wanted to see. Thank you, Errol Spence. Did I get the outcome? Of course I didn't. That's not the outcome I wanted. Who gives a fuck? You don't always get what you want. But I got what I want. Because what I wanted was the fight, because I don't give a fuck about outcomes. I know that hurts y'all bad because you looking, you want to see tears. You're not. You're not. But what you do see is Terrence Crawford telling you that they built him. You see Terrence Crawford telling you that the reason why his competition looked like the fuck it did with Indongo and fucking bum-ass other niggas like it, the way it looks like that, is because they held him from fighting other guys. Terrence Crawford told you that himself. Now, he thought he was dropping bars talking about somebody else, but that's what Top Rank did to him. Yeah, Top Rank is the one that held this motherfucker, that moved this motherfucker in a certain way. Top Rank is the motherfuckers that built this motherfucker straight up, block by block. Top Rank is the one that did that. Yeah, they didn't throw this motherfucker out there to the wolves right away. And I know someone will be like, no, BF, what about Breeders Prescott, BF? They put him in there with a puncher early in his career. Breeders Prescott ain't shit. But BF, you knocked out Amir Khan. So the fuck what? A strong gust of wind will knock out Amir Khan. If you open the microwave too fast, you'll knock Amir Khan the fuck out. I dare you to run through the fucking hallway in your house and you'll knock Amir Khan the fuck out. The fuck we talking about? Oh man, Breeders' Prescott. So? Amir Khan's chin is legendary for getting stopped by anything. Turn the music up too loud and you'll knock this nigga the fuck out. Fuck we talking about? If I raise my voice in this motherfucker, the reason why you don't see Amir Khan in my live streams, because if I raise my voice, I'll put him to sleep. His chin is legendary trash. Amir Khan should be in the Hall of Fame for the worst chin in the history of boxing. So you motherfuckers telling me, oh man, Breeders' Prescott knocked out Amir Khan. You ain't telling me. Listen, bro, I'm more impressed with Terrence Crawford making him quit. I'm more impressed with Amir Khan quitting. Telling me that Amir Khan got knocked the fuck out is like saying, BFTB, you're wearing a BFTB hat. That's what's up. Yeah, that's normally what I do when I do my live streams and my videos. I wear a BFTB hat. That's the norm. That's normally what happened. So you ain't telling me shit about Amir Khan when you talk about he got knocked out. So you're failing to state that Breeders' Prescott was like 75 years old when he fought Terrence Crawford. We're going to just leave that one out, but it's all good. It's all good. Terrence Crawford was built, and he told you guys he was built. When he thought he was dropping bars, talking about everybody else, he was really talking about himself. It was really the exact same thing that myself and several other motherfuckers have been saying for the longest time. But you motherfuckers will take it as hate. Oh, man, you hating on this man. You hating on Bug. Here to go again. Here to go again. They down here hating on Bug. Those aren't my words. Those are his words. Those are his promoter's words. Those are the best competition on his resume words. Yeah, because Manny Pacquiao would have been the best name on his resume with Errol Spence. Let me say that again. Manny Pacquiao on that man's resume would have been the best name on his resume even if he had fought Errol Spence already. Errol's not an 8 division champion, 6 division champion in reality. I mean, Errol never fought at 94 pounds and moved all the way up. Y'all motherfuckers talk about accolades, accolades, accolades. There is only one octuplate champion, what the fuck y'all niggas call it. Nigga that y'all be saying is what greater than Floyd Mayweather, and he lost to Floyd Mayweather, but y'all still motherfuckers say he's a better than Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, that guy. That guy. The guy that was one half of the highest grossing fight in boxing history. That guy. Yeah, and it's man down over here, but there ain't no lying over here. Manny Pacquiao is a better name on your resume than Errol Spence. And that's the fighter you could have had on your resume. But your promoter, your team, refused. Your team, to include Bomac, your team refused. I wonder why. Can't even sign the fucking contract because I had him hold up, do my fucking homework. He ain't signed the fucking contract. I had him hold up, because, had him hold up. You know what I'm saying? To make sure the money came fast enough. Like, what the fuck you talking about, bro? What do you mean the money came fast enough? And I've been saying this shit over and over again. What are you talking about? But y'all just glaze over that. Y'all just brush over that. The money didn't come fast enough. What? But then he fought Keith Thurman. No problem. As a matter of fact, I think he already fought Keith Thurman. He fought Ugas after that. How fast did that money come? What the fuck are y'all talking about? And what's so crazy to me, with Bomac saying that goofy ass shit, how fast did the money come for Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford? You didn't get paid before the fight, you got paid after. Because I got a percentage of everything that came in. You walk your dog in the park and I get to hold the leash for 5 minutes. Like, what the fuck you talking about? You got paid after the fight. So how fast the fuck did that money come in? But when it comes to Manny Pacquiao, I had him hold up, do the fucking homework, I had him hold up, because make sure the money come fast enough. What the fuck you talking about? All of them niggas are in cahoots. All of them. To include, but I don't give a fuck what Terrence Crawford says. I don't give a fuck what none of you niggas say. There is y'all not going to tell me that Bomac is not getting a cut. That he ain't in on this shit. That he's just not as guilty as the rest of these niggas in building Terrence Crawford. Y'all not going to convince me that this nigga ain't getting a motherfucking cut, or whatever Bob Arum was getting a cut of, Bomac got a cut too. You can't convince me. Because there's no way you can have a talent like Terrence Crawford and not put that man in there with other fighters to prove his talent. No fucking way. No way, unless you as well, Bomac, did not believe he was ready for those guys. Or otherwise, why didn't you unify at 135? The IBF champion was at Top Rank. Why don't you unify? Why don't you unify? Don't tell me sides of the street. Don't no side of the street. And you guys fucking know you do fucking homework. You know IBF champion side of the street. IBF champion was in top fucking rank. That was a top rank fighter. The IBF champion was supposed to fight Ricky Burns. They were supposed to unify the IBF and WBO straps. Terrence Crawford got in the way. He refused to allow that unification, and he fought Ricky Burns. And then he didn't unify his goddamn self. These are facts. Unify with the IBF champion who was a part of Top Rank. Facts. Maybe they didn't think you was ready for the unification. Maybe when they were building you, the reason why you didn't unify at 135 is because styles make fights, and they potentially believed that Spanish guy, I think his name was Pagar, or whatever his name is, the Spanish guy that had the IBF title that was a top ranked fighter, maybe they didn't think you was ready for him. Because if they did think you was ready for him, then they would have put you in there. What did Terrence Crawford say? Well, you know, I'm not going to get my guy beat. I'm not going to put him in there with somebody that's going, some just guy that's going to get my guy beat. Maybe that's exactly why you didn't unify at 135. Yeah, maybe that's the reason why you didn't unify with an in-house fighter. Yeah, maybe that's the reason. Then you go to 140 and Ironically, you don't fight Lamont Peterson. Mysteriously, you don't fight Danny Garcia. Oh, it was Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia didn't want to fight and BF. Danny Garcia was stuck and it was Danny Garcia. He ran, BF. He ran. Well, if Danny Garcia ran, then you should have ran after him. Or did y'all forget that Terrence Crawford could have became Danny's mandatory? Could have became Sean's mandatory? Errol Spence's mandatory? He picked Jeff Horn. But did he pick Jeff Horn? Or was Jeff Horn picked for him? Because BFTB has been on this thing, this mindset, for the longest time that Terrence Crawford picked Jeff Horn. It was Terrence Crawford that picked him. Terrence Crawford picked him. But the reality is, well, you know, when I was at Top Rank, do you know why? Do you know why I didn't get the fights? Because I wasn't my own boss. Oh, bird. Terrence Crawford didn't pick Jeff Horn. Terrence Crawford's team picked Jeff Horn. Terrence Crawford's team could have picked any fucking champion. It never made sense on why Terrence Crawford, you know, if it's a size of the street and these niggas is running from you and ducking from you and hiding from you, it never made sense on why Terrence Crawford didn't just become Errol Spence's mandatory. You fought Jeff Horn in the same month that Errol Spence fought motherfucking Ocampo. It never made sense on why you just didn't become Errol Spence's mandatory and just fight Errol Spence. Kell Brook is not a PBC fighter at all. Yet Errol Spence fought Kell Brook. Sides of the street, right? Different sides of the street. He's not a PBC fighter. There was nothing holding up Terrence Crawford from fighting Errol Spence. In his very first fight at 147, there was nothing holding it up. We literally could have been on a trilogy fight by now. Literally. It doesn't matter if Terrence Crawford would have beat that man back then. Doesn't matter. By this time right now, Errol Spence would have came back and had another belt. Had another one, or maybe two. Terrence Crawford might have had two his damn self. Or Terrence Crawford might have had three, and Errol Spence might have fucked around and been his mandatory. You never know what would have happened. His team didn't believe in Terrence Crawford because they were building that man. And if you have the option to fight an Errol Spence, a Sean Porter, a Keith Thurman, a Danny Garcia, or a Jeff Horn, and they are all for the exact same thing, a title. Yeah, they're all for a title. You could have fought Errol Spence for the IBF. You could have fought Keith Thurman for the WBA. You could have fought Danny Garcia for the WBC. And when Danny Garcia lost to Sean Porter, you could have fought Sean Porter for the WBC. You picked Jeff Horn, the weakest of all of them. That's who you picked. Oh, but BF, he beat Manny Pacquiao. No, he beat Manny Pacquiao. That's your reasoning to fight Jeff Horn? That's your reasoning? He was robbed. Manny Pacquiao was robbed, and everybody says that shit. Everybody says he was robbed. Now, me, I am in the mindset of if it's not a blatant rob thing, if I'm not looking at this motherfucker or looking at this motherfucker and I see, bro, you got dropped. You got dropped. You got up and you got dominated, and the round was motherfucking 10-10 or 10-9. What? Or you getting completely fucking dominated. You ain't landing no shots. You're getting beat up. Every punch is getting landed on you. And then they look at the round and it's a 10-10. What? It's a round where you never got dropped, but I could literally make that a 10-8 round because you were dominated that badly. But it's a 10-10 or a 10-9. All right. Or you clearly beat this man from pillar to post every single round. And then you lose a decision. Or you get a draw. Like, okay, then we can have a conversation. So, to me, Pacquiao won that fight, but Jeff Horn was gifted a ninth round. That fight should have got stopped in the ninth, but it was some home cooking. So he was gifted extra time, and then Jeff Horn came back and won. The same shit with Daniel Dubois. The same exact shit. Daniel Dubois knocked Usyk out. The referee gifted Usyk more time. Usyk came back and knocked Daniel Dubois out. So yeah, Usyk won that fight, but he lost in the fifth. Yeah, Jeff Horn won, but he lost in the ninth. Same fucking scenario. Same fucking thing. Same thing. That was controversial as fuck. And instead of fighting Errol Spence, who just destroyed Kell Brook, instead of fighting him, who made him quit, you don't fight him, you fight Jeff Horn. Instead of fighting Danny Garcia, who moved up and got a belt at 147 and was a WBC champion, you fight Jeff Horn. Instead of fighting Sean Porter, who beat Danny Garcia for the WBC title, you fight Jeff Horn. Instead of going directly after Sean Porter, becoming Sean Porter, Keith Thurman's mandatory. Regardless of the WBA situation, you still could have did that if you want to keep Thurman so badly, you could have gotten the WBA rankings. Instead of doing that, you go fight Jeff Horn. Motherfuckers sitting here and y'all give me this lame ass fucking excuse. Oh man, they told Terrence Crawford to get a belt. Man, they told Terrence Crawford, they told him the reason why Terrence Crawford didn't fight because they told him. So who's this fucking promoter? Is it Bob Arum or is it Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, and Sean Porter? Which one of his fucking promoter? Which one of them? Which one of them are his promoter? Because the last I checked, it doesn't fucking matter what the fighter says. It matters what the sanctioning body says. If the sanctioning body says this is your mandatory, then that's your fucking mandatory. That's your mandatory. Now it's up to your mandatory at that point to fucking turn you down. Yeah, it's up to the mandatory to fucking say, all right, well, I ain't fighting because I ain't getting 50-50. Yeah, it's up to your mandatory to do that. Terrence Crawford didn't do that. He went a whole different option, a whole different route. And did he? Or was it his team who was building him like he said? So Terrence Crawford exposed himself. He thought he was dropping bars. He wasn't. He wasn't. That man exposed himself for being built because they could have easily put him in there with the IBF champion at 135. They didn't. They could have easily put him in there with Manny Pacquiao at any fucking time, at any time. Motherfuckers talk about, oh, well, Manny, Terrence Crawford, you can't dictate terms. You got to go to 147 to fight Manny Pacquiao. But Bob Arum is the one that said that Manny Pacquiao fights at 142, 144. He could easily make 135. Bob Arum said that. So Bob Arum said to put this motherfuckers together in a fight at 135. He did not. And it wasn't because it didn't believe in Manny Pacquiao. It was that Terrence Crawford was his future. Manny Pacquiao was the right now. You don't go for the right now when you got the future right there. No, you plan for your future. Bob ain't stupid. He planned for his future with Terrence Crawford, which is why he was shitting on Manny Pacquiao low-key backstabbing him, but then high-key dick riding this motherfucker whenever he's around him. Oh, Manny Pacquiao turned it down. He don't want it. Only to have Manny Pacquiao say, what the fuck you talking about? I didn't turn it down. Why would I fight Jeff Horn, not Terrence Crawford? The fuck? Didn't have Bob Arum come back out and tell you Manny Pacquiao didn't turn it down. He killed it. He killed the fight because he knew what would happen. Only to turn right back around and make the same fight that he killed. After Manny Pacquiao has a few more fights. But you killed it because you know what would happen. Manny Pacquiao's old. He's old, and then you make the fight when he was older. Either Terrence Crawford knows what he's talking about. He knows he's talking about himself. Or he just exposed himself. Either or, it doesn't make a difference. The results are the same. All right, that man was built. He was kept away from specific competition, and he knows it. BFTB. Shout to the mighty LDBC. And I'm out.